Millions of car owners do not know these secret car tricks exist that could literally save their own lives. But here's the twist. One of these tricks could save you thousands in expensive car repairs, and mechanics don't want you to know them. Stay tuned. From tilting your mirror to key fob backup systems, these are the 15 secret car tricks that separate pro drivers from beginners. Trust me, you'll regret not knowing these. Let's dive in with secret number 15. Side mirror auto tilt mode. Your side mirrors have been secretly helping you parallel park this whole time, and you've been completely oblivious. Most cars with memory seats have an auto tilt feature that angles your passenger mirror down when you shift into reverse, giving you a perfect view of the curb and your rear wheel. Here's how to activate it. Adjust your passenger seat to the memory position you want. Then, while in reverse, manually tilt the passenger mirror down to your preferred angle. The system learns this position and automatically tilts the mirror whenever you reverse while that memory setting is selected. No more guessing games about curb distance or scraping expensive rims on concrete. Your car's been trying to save your wheels and your dignity. You just never knew the feature existed. Seriously, how many thousands in wheel repairs could this have prevented? But here's what they don't tell you. This feature works through the same memory system that remembers your seat position, steering wheel height, and other preferences. Once programmed, it's completely automatic. No buttons to press or settings to remember. But wait, if that blew your mind, you're not ready for what your key fob has been hiding. Secret number 14. Foil key fob protection. Car thieves aren't just looking for unlocked doors anymore. But here's the thing. They've gone high-tech with relay attacks, using special devices to intercept your key fob signal, even when your car is locked up tight in your garage. But here's the aluminum foil hat moment that actually makes sense. Wrapping your keys in foil blocks these signals completely. Metal creates a Faraday cage effect, turning your key fob into Fort Knox for radio waves. Thieves can sit outside your house all day with their fancy gadgets, and they'll get nothing but radio silence. You can also stash your keys in the fridge or microwave. Anywhere with metal walls works. This isn't paranoid behavior. It's practical defense against criminals who've turned car theft into a wireless sport. For a few cents worth of foil, you're shutting down $1,000 theft equipment. But here's the catch. The relay attack method involves two criminals. One stands near your house with a device that amplifies your key fob signal, while another positions a second device near your car to unlock it. And when that happens, they can steal your vehicle in under 60 seconds without ever touching your actual keys. Even worse, professional thieves are using this technique to target luxury vehicles parked in driveways, making foil protection more relevant than ever. Speaking of cheap fixes for expensive problems, let's talk about your makeup drawer. Secret number 13. Nail polish emergency repairs. That chip in your windshield doesn't need a $500 repair bill. It needs a trip to the cosmetics aisle. But here's what most drivers miss. Clear nail polish contains nitrocellulose, the exact same base component used in automotive clear coats. One thin layer over that chip prevents it from spreading into a full windshield replacement nightmare. For paint scratches, find a matching color, and you've got a temporary fix that buys you time before professional touch-ups. This isn't just creative recycling, it's legitimate chemistry working in your favor. A $5 bottle of polish can prevent a $900 windshield replacement, and your mechanic never has to know you beat them at their own game. But here's the irony. The automotive industry spent decades perfecting clear coat formulas, not realizing the beauty industry had already solved the problem for fingernails. The key is applying just enough polish to seal the damage without creating a thick, noticeable patch. For windshield chips, clean the area thoroughly and apply polish in thin layers, allowing each to dry completely. But if you think nail polish is impressive, wait until you see what vegetables can do. Secret number 12. Potato trick for windows. Foggy windows turning your morning commute into a guessing game. But here's the truth. Forget those $15 anti-fog sprays. The answer is sitting in your kitchen for 50 cents. Cut a raw potato in half and rub it on the inside of your windows, then buff with a microfiber cloth. The starch creates an invisible hydrophilic layer that absorbs moisture before it can form fog. This isn't folk medicine, it's food science meeting automotive engineering. White potatoes work best due to higher starch content, and one application lasts weeks even with daily driving. But here's what they don't tell you. Russian fighter pilots used this technique during World War II because it worked better than anything else available. If it's good enough for a MiG cockpit at 30,000 feet, it's definitely good enough for your morning drive to Starbucks. Make sure to use the cut side of the potato and apply firm, even pressure across the entire window surface. Don't worry about your car smelling like French fries. The starch is odorless once dry. Now let's shift gears from vegetables to something that'll make your steering wheel thank you. Secret number 11, upside down steering wheel hack. Ever returned to your car and screamed when touching a steering wheel that's been baking in the sun? But here's the 5-second fix dealerships never mention. Flip your steering wheel 180 degrees before leaving your car. The part you actually grip ends up in the shade under your dashboard, instead of getting direct sunlight through the windshield. Steering wheels can hit 150+ degrees in summer heat, enough to cause legitimate burns. This simple flip puts the contact points in the cool zone, while the unused section takes the solar punishment. And here's a bonus. It works as a basic theft deterrent too. Those extra seconds a potential thief spends figuring out your upside-down wheel might be just enough to make them move on to an easier target. This hack works best with traditional round steering wheels. Flat-bottom sport wheels don't flip as effectively, but still provide some heat relief. Before we dive deeper, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. These hacks only get more insane. Secret number 10, mirror defrosters. Cold mornings got you scraping frost off your side mirrors like a caveman? But here's the thing, your car's been laughing at you this whole time. Most vehicles have side mirror defrosters built right in, and the switch has been right under your nose. Find your mirror adjustment switch. Instead of setting it to L or R, rotate it all the way down. Boom! Heated mirrors that clear frost, fog, and rain in about 30 seconds. They use the same electrical system as your rear window defroster. But somehow 90% of drivers discover this by accident. These heating elements are built into the mirror glass itself, working in any weather condition. Rain, fog, frost, doesn't matter. Your mirrors stay clear while everyone else is playing the dangerous game of, I hope that's not a motorcycle in my blind spot. But here's what they don't tell you. The heating elements are actually thin wires embedded directly in the mirror glass during manufacturing. Similar to rear window defrosters, but much smaller. They draw minimal power from your electrical system and automatically shut off after a few minutes to prevent overheating. Some luxury vehicles even activate mirror heaters automatically when you turn on the rear defroster, but most require manual activation through the mirror control switch. Let's proceed. Secret number 9, dead key fob backup systems. Dead key fob battery doesn't mean you're stranded, but here's what most drivers miss. Every fob has 2 RFID systems, the active one you use daily, and a secret passive system that doesn't need battery power. This backup draws energy from your car's reader using electromagnetic induction, basically wireless charging for emergencies. Hold your dead fob within an inch of the start button, and your car recognizes the passive signal. No towing, no locksmith fees, no drama. This technology was specifically designed for the exact moment your battery decides to die at the worst possible time. But wait, there's more. Inside that same fob is a hidden mechanical key. Press the small button and a metal key slides out. Check under your driver's door handle for a hidden keyhole covered by a color-matched plastic piece. Even with a completely dead car battery, you're getting inside. But here's the truth. The passive RFID system works through near-field communication, the same technology used in contactless payment cards. It only activates when the fob is within a few centimeters of the car's antenna, usually located around the start button or center console. This proximity requirement is actually a security feature. It prevents thieves from activating the system from a distance, while still giving you emergency access when you need it most. And speaking of getting inside, let's talk about what happens once you're behind the wheel. Secret number 8, brain antenna trick. Ever stood in a parking lot clicking your key fob like a maniac, hoping your car will magically light up somewhere in the sea of vehicles? But here's the hack that sounds like science fiction but works like magic. Hold your key fob against your head. No, you're not going crazy. Your brain is literally 75% water, which conducts electromagnetic waves like a boss. When you press that fob to your skull, you're turning yourself into a human antenna, boosting your signal range from 30 feet to over 85 feet. The water molecules in your head resonate with the electromagnetic waves, amplifying them like a biological radio tower. Seriously, who knew evolution was preparing us for parking lot emergencies? Your head is basically a walking cell tower, and unlike those overpriced signal boosters, this one came free with your body. But here's what they don't tell you. The technique works best when you hold the fob firmly against your temple or the side of your head. Don't worry about looking weird. You'll look a lot weirder wandering around the parking lot for 20 minutes searching for your car. The electromagnetic waves are so low-powered that they're completely harmless, unlike those conspiracy theories about cell phones cooking your brain. But boosting your key fob signal is nothing compared to this next hack that could save you thousands. Secret number 7. Transmission reset trick. Rough shifting. Slipping gears. But before you panic about transmission repairs, try this. Turn off the engine, press the gas pedal all the way down for 15 seconds, release, then start the car. You just reset your transmission control module, the computer that manages gear changes. Sometimes this system gets confused and develops bad shifting patterns. The reset forces it to clear its memory and return to factory settings, often fixing minor glitches instantly. This won't solve mechanical problems, but for electronic hiccups, it's like restarting your computer when it's acting weird. Modern transmissions have dozens of components working together, and sometimes the brain just needs a reboot. But here's what most drivers don't know. The transmission control module continuously learns your driving patterns and adjusts shift points accordingly, but sometimes it develops incorrect strategies that feel rough or jerky. This reset procedure is actually built into most modern vehicles as a diagnostic tool, though manufacturers rarely advertise it. But fixing your transmission is nothing compared to this next hack that could literally save your life. Secret number 6. Penny tire test. Your tires are the only thing between you and the road. But here's the truth. Most drivers have no clue how dangerous their rubber really is. Here's the foolproof safety check using pocket change. Take a penny and insert it into your tire tread with Lincoln's head facing down. If you can see the top of Abe's head, your tread is too shallow and genuinely unsafe. The penny measures exactly the minimum legal tread depth of 2/32 of an inch. But here's what most people miss. Check multiple spots around each tire, not just one location. Tires wear unevenly due to alignment issues and driving habits. At 4/32 of an inch, you lose significant wet weather traction. At the legal minimum, your stopping distance on wet roads can be 50% longer than new tires. Worn tires hydroplane at speeds as low as 35 miles during heavy rain. But here's what they don't tell you. For even more precision, use a quarter instead of a penny. If you can see Washington's entire head, you've got about 4/32 of tread remaining, which means it's time to start shopping for replacements. The inner and outer edges of tires often wear faster than the center, especially with alignment problems or improper inflation. From life-saving safety checks to this next hack that'll make you question everything about parking. Secret number 5. Professional parking sequence. Most drivers are slowly killing their transmission every time they park, and they don't even know it. But here's what you're doing wrong. Shifting into park first on an incline puts your car's entire weight on a tiny metal pin called the parking pole, about the size of your thumb trying to hold thousands of pounds. The right sequence: come to a complete stop, shift to neutral, apply the parking brake, then shift to park. This puts the weight on your brakes instead of that poor little transmission component that wasn't designed to be a parking anchor. Professional driving instructors know this, but here's the catch. It's rarely taught in basic driver's ed. This simple sequence can extend your transmission's life by years and prevent dangerous rollaway situations when that pal finally gives up. But here's the truth. The parking pal mechanism was originally designed as a backup safety feature, not the primary parking system. When you shift into park first, especially on steep inclines, the pal can become so stressed that it's difficult to shift out of park later. You might have experienced that grinding noise when trying to shift out of park on a hill. That's your transmission crying for help. Speaking of professional secrets, wait until you hear what truckers know about gas stations. If you're getting value from these tricks and hacks professional mechanics and drivers don't want to tell you, kindly hit that like button. We got more tricks that you definitely don't know exist. Number 1 is so useful you'll be shocked by it. Secret number 4, strategic fueling method. Ever notice how your gas pump cuts off early, leaving you short on fuel? But here's what commercial fleet managers know. They use a 3-phase filling technique that maximizes every gallon. Fill to 1/4 tank, wait 30 seconds for fuel to settle, continue to half tank, pause again, then finish. This prevents fuel foaming that tricks sensors into premature shutoffs. When fuel rushes into an empty tank, it creates turbulence that can fool your car into thinking it's full when you're actually short by over a gallon. The pausing method allows proper fuel stratification and sensor recalibration. This technique increases actual fill capacity by up to 24% versus continuous filling. That's an extra 15 to 20 miles per tank without spending an extra cent. Most fuel tanks have anti-spill reservoir designs that only work correctly when filled gradually. But here's what they don't tell you. Professional truckers and delivery drivers have known this secret for decades because fuel efficiency directly impacts their bottom line. The foam created by rapid fuel flow contains air bubbles that trigger the pump's automatic shutoff mechanism prematurely. Modern fuel tanks also have complex vapor recovery systems that need time to equalize pressure during filling, which explains why the paused approach works so much better. And here's what's really interesting. Gas station attendants in states like Oregon and New Jersey often use this method automatically because they're trained to maximize fuel delivery. The technique is particularly effective with larger tanks. Trucks and SUVs benefit most because their deeper tanks create more turbulence during rapid filling. But here's the catch. Some newer gas pumps have slow fill modes, specifically designed to prevent foaming. But most drivers never notice or use these settings. But even perfect fueling won't help if you can't find your gas tank in the first place. Secret number 3, steering wheel adjustment secret. Most drivers adjust their seat and mirrors, but here's what they completely ignore: the steering wheel adjustment lever hiding right under their nose. That little handle or button underneath your steering wheel doesn't just tilt it up and down, it also pulls the entire wheel closer to you or pushes it away with telescopic adjustment. The perfect driving position has your arms slightly bent when gripping the wheel at 9 and 3 o'clock. If your arms are fully extended or cramped up against your chest, you're doing it wrong and compromising both comfort and safety. This adjustment can prevent fatigue on long drives and give you better control in emergency situations. But here's what blows most people's minds. You've probably been driving uncomfortably for years because you never touched that adjustment lever. The telescopic feature exists on most cars made since the 1990s, but somehow 80% of drivers think steering wheels only tilt up and down. But here's the truth. The lever typically works by loosening a clamp mechanism that allows both tilt and telescopic movements simultaneously. Some luxury vehicles have electronic adjustment with memory settings that automatically position the wheel when you start the car. From steering wheel secrets to this cooling method that makes AC look amateur. Secret number 2, hot car cooling method. Here's the nuclear option for cooling a sun-baked car that makes every other method look primitive. But before getting in your furnace mobile, roll down rear windows completely, then rapidly open and close the driver's door 5 to 6 times. This creates a powerful vacuum effect using physics instead of electricity. You're literally pumping hot air out through the open rear windows. Interior temperatures can reach 140–180 degrees in direct sunlight, and running AC at maximum just forces the system to fight this extreme heat while consuming maximum energy. The door pumping method creates a bellows effect, rapidly exchanging super hot interior air with cooler outside air. This can drop cabin temperature by 20–30 degrees before you even start the engine, making your AC system 300% more effective and reducing strain on expensive components. But here's the truth. Dark leather seats can reach over 200 degrees, hot enough to cause burns in seconds. This technique gets you in the driver's seat without needing oven mitts or a medical kit. Japanese automotive engineers actually studied this method extensively and found it more effective than solar-powered ventilation fans that cost hundreds of dollars. And here's what emergency responders know. Emergency medical technicians in hot climates use this technique to quickly cool overheated vehicles before treating patients inside. The method works so well that some automotive engineers have incorporated automatic versions into luxury cars, systems that crack windows and run fans when parked to prevent extreme heat buildup. But here's the science. The bellows effect is the same principle used in blacksmith forges to intensify heat, except here you're using it in reverse to rapidly exchange air masses. And finally, the hack that'll make you question everything about your daily drive. Secret number 1, emergency trunk fuel door release. Locked yourself out with your fuel door shut and tank nearly empty. But here's what most drivers don't know exists. There's a manual release that could save you from calling a locksmith or breaking into your own car. Pop your trunk and look for a small plastic lever or cable near the fuel tank area, usually marked with a fuel pump icon. This emergency release was mandated by safety regulations because people were getting trapped in situations where electronic fuel door mechanisms failed. Pull that lever and your fuel door pops open instantly, no keys or electrical power required. But here's what they don't tell you. It's typically located on the driver's side of the trunk, either mounted to the trunk wall or hanging from a small cable. Some manufacturers hide it behind a removable panel or under the trunk carpet. This feature exists on virtually every car made since 2002, but it's so well hidden that even experienced mechanics sometimes forget it's there. And here's the science behind it. The release mechanism works through a simple mechanical cable system that bypasses all electronic controls. It's the same principle used for manual trunk releases and hood latches. Pure mechanical advantage that works even when your car's electrical system is completely dead. And here's the kicker. Next time someone's locked out of their fuel door, you'll be the hero who knows about the secret trunk lever that saves the day. Did you already know these tricks? Or have more tricks you'd like to share? Comment down below. Anyways, these tricks are very useful. But you know what else is useful? Car features inside your car that you don't know save you tons of money. Click this video if you like saving money. You will not regret it.